Greetings, nerds. This is Will Polk, producer of the Senior Nerd Podcast, with your host, Sarah Belmont. No, Sarah's not here tonight, but she will be joining us with our regular podcast tomorrow evening. But tonight, I am doing a solo recap of the season 2 premiere of Star Trek Picard. I was lucky to be able to get a screener for the upcoming season and was able to watch it tonight. And I'm going to give a quick non-spoiler review of my thoughts on the season premiere for the episode. But before you do that, be sure to go and subscribe to our podcast. And you can do that wherever you get your podcast by going to www.scenanerdpodcast.com. Again, that's www.scenanerdpodcast.com. Or you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're trying to build up that as well. So you can always get our podcasts whenever they drop, and we typically drop them on Thursday or Friday morning. So with that, let me jump right into this season premiere. It was so dope. I really, really, really enjoyed it. It really had very high expectations coming into this season. Of course, we've had just a treasure trove of Star Trek content lately between Star Trek Lower Deck, Star Trek Prodigy. We have Star Trek Discovery that is still going on and will be overlapping with Picard for a few weeks. And then, of course, we have Strange New Worlds that will be premiering later in May. But, of course, as many fans are of Star Trek, most folks really got hooked on the show with The Next Generation. I was an old school guy. I mean, I love the original series, but I was a huge fan of The Next Generation. And whenever we learned that Jean-Luc was going to be coming back in his new series, I was completely on board. So the good things about this season premiere is it really does, we do have a time jump. It is about a year from the events of season 1, a little over a year. And the episode is titled The Stargazer. And when you get a chance to, when you do actually watch this episode, you will understand why it's called The Stargazer. And that's not any type of spoiler or anything like that. If I say anything more, I'll be spoiling the episode. But I think one of the great things that this series has done so far, and really what the season premiere did really well, is really gave us a side of Jean-Luc Picard that we haven't seen. And really, for new fans, it further gives additional context to the admiral now, but also for old fans, you'll learn new things about the captain, which really explains some of the things that we saw about him in previous shows and movies for that that were in place before this new series, which is sometime after the Dominion War and after the Romulans have also been lost as well from the events we saw in Star Trek Insurrection and beyond. So that is one of the great things about this series. Another really good thing about this season premiere is I think it definitely, for old fans of Star Trek, it definitely hits all the beats that we're familiar with. It has a good mix of action. It has a good mix of dialogue. It has a good moments between the characters and the interactions that we've gotten to appreciate with the new cast in Star Trek Picard. But also, we do get some appearances from some of our old favorites, and I think, of course, it's not a secret that Whoopi Goldberg is going to be returning this year, and she does appear in the first episode. And you probably saw some of the promotional stills for the episode. But the other really good thing about Star Trek Picard is I think that does a good job of bringing in the new fans, so that if you are a new fan of Star Trek, you can immediately jump on board. You don't need to go back and watch 7 years of the Next Generation to understand all what's going on. But also, if you're an old fan of Star Trek, you definitely get those vibes and that good feeling of seeing Jean-Luc and the interactions that he has with the new crew members and the new people that he has encountered in the later years of his life. And so that was really one of the great things about this this opening of season 2. Of course, from the visual effects and everything, and the special effects and the new title sequence was so amazing. I was completely blown away. I had a big grin on my face when I was watching the opening title card for this new season, and some of the things that they did with that, and of course, just like in season 1, the title cards and the things that they had in the opening really set the tone as far as what we could probably going to expect during season 2. So those were some of the really good things about it. As far as some of the things I may have some issues with, or again, there's never a perfect hour of television, but this was a very strong episode right out the gate. But I will say, even though I do praise it for being accessible to new fans, one of the things that could be troublesome for casual Star Trek fan or for a new person to Star Trek is there were a lot of Easter eggs buried in the episode. And when you watch it, long-time Star Trek fans will totally understand what I'm talking about. But for new fans, when you watch it, there may be some things that you may or may not pick up on. So it would be good for you to go bug your Star Trek fan friend who may be deeper and more hardcore into the series to maybe help you with some of those Easter eggs. But also, I will say that the episode does do a good job of providing enough exposition that will allow for you to pick up some of those cues in the story so that you can sort of understand what the context of what was going on in that particular scene. So even though it may be a little bit off-putting or not as fully accessible for a new fan or casual fan, it's still entertaining enough that you can definitely enjoy it. So again, this episode was very strong right out the gate, hitting on all cylinders. Super excited for season 2. All the new cast members that we encountered last year, as far as Cristobal Rios and Agnes and Rafi and others are all back. We also have some good appearances from 7 and 9. Jerry Ryan, she's back as well. All the performances, again, top flight acting is superb. Definitely well directed. And the sequence, the score was also very good as far as setting the mood, setting the tone. So again, everything about this season premiere, it does exactly what you want a good season premiere to do, which is to set the tone for the season. And I can't wait to watch episode 2 next week, and of course rewatch episode 1, and then we will definitely have a full-blown spoiler review on our Cena Nerd podcast as well, and we'll be covering this show on our podcast this season. So be sure to again check us out. I hope you like my non-spoiler review. Like I said, didn't want to say too much because I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but I hope you enjoy the season premiere as much as I did. And be sure to hit that like button, and be sure to hit that subscribe button, and be sure to rate, follow us wherever you get your podcast by going to www.cenanerdpodcast.com. Follow us on Twitter at Cena Nerd. Follow us on Instagram at Cena Nerd. Follow us on our Facebook page as well at Cena Nerd. And rate, comment, subscribe wherever you get your podcast. Thanks. Good night. Geek out. You're welcome.